All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for coming to join our show. This is Whatever Fate Decides, and it's presented to you by No Pants Improv. The show tonight, for everybody who's out there watching, is about reading the tarot for a very special guest who you'll meet in just a moment. And having a group of improvisers just work a little bit more deeply with the reading to see what else might be revealed, and then to give our guest the power to manipulate her future a little bit more directly than she might have otherwise. And without any further ado, I'd just like to bring on our guest today, Amy Shostak. Just come right on the camera, Amy.
Hi,
Hey.
Neil.
Hey, it is lovely to have you on the show. It's been too long since I've gotten to see you, and I just hope you're doing well.
Yeah, ditto. How are you?
I'm good. I was mentioning just before the show started, I live in my wife's ancestral house, and her house has had people pass away in it, and this is sort of like the spookiest room, so it feels just right for reading the tarot in and kind of exploring some things.
Mhm.
I also just wanted to mention, Amy, you are in charge of Blind Tiger Comedy right now, is that right?
Yeah, well, I teach there. I'm not in charge, thankfully.
Okay. That could be
Yeah. Oh, it's a relief to not be in charge sometimes. I don't know if you feel like that. I do. And yeah, I teach improv there. We teach online workshops, and it's the best.
great. Well, that's
Yeah.
super awesome. So that you all at home can see what's happening with the reading, I also have a little device that you're going to see a little bit about as well. It is the card camera. There it is. So
Mm.
when the cards come up, you will see the cards happen. Also, I'd like to introduce you to the players that you're going to meet tonight. So could I have all the players come on stage, or our virtual stage, whatever that means nowadays? Hey everyone, it's super good to see you guys. Thank you so much. Um, these are the wonderful folks from No Pants Improv who will be working with you. And players, why don't you just introduce yourselves real quick just so that we know who you are, and we'll get into the show.
I'm Nicole Perkowitz, and I'm coming to you from Chicago.
Awesome.
Kristen Dreddy. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Yay.
My name is Tanya, and I'm from Belgium.
Hello, my name is Sophie. I'm also from Belgium, and it's the middle of the night here.
It sure is, which makes this even more special, you guys. I mean, I know that like Valentine's Day, it's kind of like people start to wonder things about like what's happening in my life, where's everything going, which kind of makes me think about reading the tarot. And it's true, like whether you're in or out or whatever your relationship status is, it kind of is this kind of I want to say awful moment in our culture right now where people are like kind of evaluating things. And so I thought, you know what, like maybe it'd just be a good day to like look at where your life is at, and also like what things might have in store for you, and to give people a little agency over the future about where they can go. Amy, of these players, is there one of them that you feel like you'd like to have play the role of Amy?
Tanya.
Tanya, awesome.
Yeah.
Tanya, you're going to be Amy in all the scene work that happens in our reading today. Players, I'm going to have you leave, and you'll join us as the reading progresses. Thank you so much for being here. It's just you and the card camera, and I have my cards here in front of me. What is it that you wanted to go ahead and ask? Oh, I wanted to ask one other thing, just to help Tanya out too. I nearly forgot, and someone just reminded me in the chat, which I really appreciate. Amy, are there 3 words, 3 adjectives that you would use to describe yourself, just to help Tanya out as she plays the role of you?
Yes, I would say a worrier.
Okay.
I would say passionate and silly.
Cool. Cool. That's really awesome. So now that we know those things, I have my cards with me. What is the question that you wanted to ask the cards today? The first question you wanted to ask?
Well, obviously there's a lot going on. I think you mentioned it's such an uncertain time and people are thinking about a lot of things, and I feel very nervous.
Oh, we'll take good care of you, we promise.
I know you will. Once I did a tarot reading, and the reader, who was amazing, said that I was going to break up with my boyfriend. And the next man that I dated, I was going to marry. And I'm now engaged to the next man.
That's so exciting. Good for you.
I know. And so I feel this there's an immense power there. And Neil, I totally trust you. But I think that's why I feel nervous.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay. This is actually a really good moment to talk a little bit about the cards, just so that way everybody knows where things stand. The cards are only a glimpse into your future. They're not locked in stone. If you see the future that happens today and you don't like it, you have agency as a person to change it because the future hasn't happened yet, right? So if you walked away from that reading that you had a year ago, even though it's great that you're engaged to the person you're engaged with, you said, you know what, that sucks. I don't want that to happen. You could have made choices that would have made that be different. And that's part of why this is powerful and useful, because it doesn't mean, oh, I'm stuck with this. It means, oh, here's a little glimpse into where I'm headed on my current trajectory. Do I like that or not?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah. So with that in mind, what's the first thing that you were thinking you wanted to ask the cards?
I think I want to ask about, I own a condo in Edmonton, a different city from where I live.
Right. Far to the north.
Yes. And I've had it for a while, and now I live in Vancouver, and I'm engaged, and I'm starting a marriage, and I'm thinking about selling it. But there's this piece of me that's afraid of almost letting go of that kind of part of myself. So I'm trying to decide whether to hold on to it and kind of hold on to the memories of that space and my time in Edmonton, or whether to let go and move on. And
so do I need to let go of Edmonton, or is there still something there for me, kind of thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. We can totally kind of look at Edmonton, past, present, and future. Is there something there that that you could that you need to let go of or keep? I'm going to start shuffling the cards. I want you to think about your question. And as you sit and think about your question in your mind, and as I shuffle, I want you to just tell me when I should stop.
Stop.
Okay. Perfect. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think we have some good stuff here to work with that's really interesting. And if you see me look down, by the way, it's only just because there's so much to know about the tarot. It's a lot that I actually keep a little guide for myself that I wrote just to make sure oh, okay, can I keep track of what this card means relating to the other cards? There's just a lot to keep track of. Totally. But the first card that's here is a really powerful card from the past. It's the Tower, and it's a card. I'm going to hold it steady here because my fingers are jumping around. It's a really powerful card from something called the Major Arcana, which is supposed to chronicle the soul's journey through life. And you can see it's this tower that's built. Let me see if I can hold it a little differently. This tower that is built on a cliff, and this bolt of clarity comes down from the heavens and sort of breaks it apart. And the people are kind of jumping out of the tower, and it looks really kind of scary. But it's a card about like massive change and transformation, which you're nodding your head, so that makes me think like that's accurate. But the other thing that happened in the past in relation to this time about leaving Edmonton is that it became a time to like rebuild and refocus, right? Because like, okay, now you've destroyed something, or not really destroyed something, but like you've changed so much and this other thing is gone. Now there's space for you to like regrow and rebuild. And that you were allowed to have that new growth. And I think like as I look at this, it's like kind of questioning some of your beliefs about things as well, like in the move. Like, what do and I don't know, it could be a questioning your beliefs about a lot of different things. To me, it feels like, looking at the other cards in the reading, that it's both relationships about people, like emotional, romantic relationships and otherwise, which I'll explain, but also like financially, right? Like career wise, where am I going and what am I doing? And big changes with that. Does that all seem to resonate with you about like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So players, if you feel like some of that might make sense, and something that we could delve into a little bit more, you're welcome to come on. If not, I can keep talking a little bit more about, here we are.
Here I am.
Hey, babe.
I'm so glad you're here with me. This is the place. Here it was, in the middle of the woods. He was big, he was strong, he was passionate. But then he ran away. Can you imagine a big bear looking at you and then turning around and running away?
That must have been terrifying.
Yeah, and strange, and strange. Was it my power or the way I looked at him? I don't know. Still haunts me.
You know, I experience you as a very powerful woman. You know, so that could be it, you know?
Yeah, maybe. So,
Yeah.
Mike,
Amy?
the picnic.
Yeah. Here.
Thanks.
Sandwiches.
Ham and cheese sandwich, always go there.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't want to rush you, but I think it's time that we start talking about your place and like where we're gonna live as a couple, as we, you know, as a married couple, and what you want to do with your old place.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Well, we could use the money if you sold it.
Yeah, I know. But
Hold on.
you're
Pause
talking
for
about.
this. I'll pause you players for just a quick second before we move on to to this third character joining us. Amy, it looks like we had your current partner join us on stage. What's that person's first name, just so we have it right?
Tom.
It's Tom. Cool. So Nicole, from now on, you'll be Tom, and we'll just pick up the scene right where we left off with this third character coming in.
Yeah, Tom. Ham and cheese, always nice.
Hey guys, it's so nice of you to take me for this final picnic before you get married. Oh, Amy, we had some wonderful times here, didn't we?
Yeah, we had. We were some warriors there.
Yes, we
Every
were. And
Saturday.
I hope, well, I'm sorry, Tom, but I have to say, I hope nothing changed between us if you get married. I mean, I hope we will still have time here together, just friends, because
Yeah,
I'm always worried that, yeah, you left your hometown and now.
I told Tom that we normally come every month here, girls' nights, and we stay overnight here. And Tom does agree.
I am not in your life to change you or to make you any less powerful of a woman or to take you away from your friends. If we're going to get married, you have to have a whole life. And this is what you do every month. This is important to you, and that's important to me.
Mm. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's great. So I hope you keep your place in Edmonton, so you still have some connection with where you came from.
Mm.
Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm gonna hold you there, players, just to check in with Amy about this. So if Amy, if you want to come on, and players, if you want to step aside for just a quick second. Did you have a little moment like this with your friends in Edmonton where you were saying goodbye? Did any of that resonate with you a little bit? I'm just kind of checking in
Yeah.
with you to see, like,
Well, definitely something about the forest really resonated with me in the
ooh,
past. And then, yeah, I did definitely have like a goodbye party and stuff at my apartment before I left. And the representation of Tom was quite accurate. Very, very
well, good. I
supportive.
was gonna ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah, very supportive, very like, I'm not gonna, you just do what you need to do. So that was very
Oh,
good. Yeah.
nice, nice. Okay. So like we know a couple things about what happened in the past, that you definitely had that like moving away moment, the strong support from your partner. Hey,
Mhm.
do whatever you need to do, baby. It's fine.
Yeah.
Which is great. And it sounds like you have some friends in Edmonton too that are kind of like pulling
Mhm.
you, like, don't forget about us to
Yeah.
stay.
Yeah.
That is that pretty accurate? But you've had this moment of clarity, that's kind of like, okay, I needed to make the break, and go to Vancouver. And to me, there's two things that are going on, like both present and future, that are worth talking about. I'll turn the
Mm.
card camera. And by the way, just so that like I know and to help our players, is Tom from Vancouver, or is he from Edmonton as well?
He's originally from the prairies. So he was born in Edmonton and his family lives in Saskatchewan in Regina.
Oh wow,
And but he's lived here for a long time. So this is definitely like Vancouver is where he was living when we first started seeing each other.
gotcha. Okay, so then
Mhm.
it kind of prompted this whole like questioning thing. It feels like in multiple parts of your life, just looking at
Mhm.
the reading. And the reason why I ask is because the next card that's here is a card called the Nine of Pentacles. I'm just going to try and hold it correctly so we can all see it. And you can see the image on the card. It's a woman. She's sitting in her garden, which is very lush. And she looks pretty happy. She's got this hawk on her arm that she's mastered. And there are all these pentacles growing around her, which is great. And her garden seems like it's doing pretty good. Nine's definitely like a number of like, hey, accomplishment. It's almost the end of like the cycle. And pentacles are a suit that's very much about like earthly things, money, career.
Mm.
And it makes me think like, hey, you're doing good. Like you've got like a lot of harmony going on with your environment in the present. You like where you are, but also like you're doing well, like from a career standpoint in Vancouver, and like things are kind of coming together for you in a new way. It may not be the same way that it was in Edmonton, but like you're enjoying the fruits of your labor some, and I think that's a good thing. And I just thought I'd check in with you. Like you're nodding your head and kind of smiling, like, yeah, that feels right. Like, does that
Mm.
seem like that's going on, or?
Yeah, I think I've had a big career, like some questioning and some curiosity about trying new things. And like started trying them. I can't say I feel that I'm at the like lady in the garden with a hawk moment, but I'm like maybe at a 7 or a 5. I'm on my way to that feeling of accomplishment. But I think right now I'm, at least how I feel is like a little bit closer to I'm still in the sussing it out mode. But I'm glad to see that content lady in a garden is maybe the part of me I should embrace a little bit more and not be so worried.
I think so. The other thing is that she stands for, as she's like holding this falcon, is just about like having some intellectual and spiritual self-control, like that you're in a good place right now in Vancouver, financially, mentally, with all like kind of earthly things. And it seems like that's right. I'm going to keep going and just go right to the future if the players have nothing else to say, because I feel like the future has something to say to us. And it's another like really kind of powerful classic card out here that I think we should talk about. It's the Two of Cups. So this card is very much about like, it's about love between two people. And you can see in here, there's this young couple. They look kind of happy. They're sort of like plighting their troth, I guess, with their cups. And, you can see in here where like, there's a lot of like passion. I don't know if you can see the image on my card. There's like this lion's head that comes up between them. And it's about like this young couple having a lot of like passionate energy between them. And it's a card that's very much about like love between two people and like a really deep connection of partnership that's coming forward, and like very much being on the same wavelength. To me, it feels like you've had this moment of questioning about whether or not you should stay or go, but you're in this good place, and it feels like the future has some really nice things to hold for you about like, should I stay or go with Edmonton? I feel like you've got this love for this place that both like love between two people, like between you and your partner, like working it out, but also like love between you and like the two cities that you live in, that you kind of divided your time, where like they can absolutely sort of marry together, if that makes sense. Right? You don't have to pick one or the other. You can be of both, and that's possible.
That's
Does that
nice.
resonate with all of you? Isn't it nice? Yeah, does that make sense, players? Is that something that you could show us a little bit about how that might look?
Sure.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and step aside for just a second.
You're finally gonna do it, huh? Gonna cut the condo cord.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy at the moment. I don't know what's happening to me.
I think the Vancouver air is agreeing with you or something, because you are glowing,
And I'm so happy to meet you, Tom's mom, finally.
Well, I'll tell you, you should feel good about the way you look. You look great. You seem really happy. Tom is really happy.
Yeah.
And I think it means a lot about your willingness to commit that you are gonna get rid of that condo, because I know it's a big piece of security.
Oh, but I just wanted to invite you to the condo, just as mother-in-law, and with me. I thought it would be nice to
Edmonton. Well, it is closer than Vancouver from Regina, so sure. Yeah, that's a very generous offer.
I'm just in the sussing it out mode, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. But is it not normal? Tom sends me a rose every day. Isn't that too much?
Well, I raised a very thoughtful boy. What can I say? He respects women and especially knows how to celebrate them.
Yeah, okay. So let's go into the jacuzzi then together.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Let's go.
Wow. I don't know if that represents your relationship with your mother-in-law. But if it does, and that it does, really, that kind of, no, a little bit, maybe, like it could get there.
It definitely, the rose piece feels true. I raised him to respect women. Definitely. The jacuzzi, it hasn't happened yet, but fingers crossed.
It could. Yeah, it seems like this is a future that you seem happy about. Like that you don't need to change, that you can be of both places and that could be possible, but also like that there is a lot of like love and partnership sort of underlying that. Should I stay or go? Like you have the support of the person that you're with very strongly, and that whatever happens, that person's passion isn't going away. That's kind of what I get from that reading. Well, we have time for one more, Amy. If you have another question that you want to ask the cards that you've been kind of like, trying to figure out, and we'll see if we can get a little further with it. What's the other thing that you might have on your mind as I kind of mix up the cards?
Okay, it's a bit less big, but
okay.
Should I get a new tattoo? It's gonna be expensive.
Sure.
But it's a good time because there's not a lot going on in the world, so you don't have to like go to the beach or go in a hot tub or whatever.
Yeah, no, you have to heal. Yeah.
It's a good time. I don't know. Maybe that's too shallow, but
no, it's not. It's not. I once had somebody ask me about like whether or not she should take like this silly acting job, and we did a reading and cards had an answer. So like it's totally fine. So tell me about this tattoo a little bit before we get into it. Like, is it specifically meaningful in some way, or like is it on a certain part of your body that's significant in some way? Like.
I think so the last few years I've gotten a few smaller ones on my right leg. And I'm thinking like, it's time to bite the bullet. Like we've been messing around too long with small tattoos. I think I have 5, but they're all like tiny. Yeah. Maybe it's time to just, I'm kind of giving up on my film and TV acting career. So that can go out the window. And which is one reason where tattoos can be a problem, but if we're moving on from that, then we might as well just go for it. And I'm kind of thinking like maybe a big one on my upper thigh, or like kind of on the same leg, so I have like one really tattooed leg and one blank leg.
That makes sense. Did you have a design in mind that you were thinking about?
I'm kind of thinking of maybe a big snake or maybe a hawk.
Ooh, there you go.
We already saw a hawk today.
Yeah, that's true. Is there something about snakes or hawks that like have meaning for you in particular, or are you just like, I just like the animal and that's I like what I like?
Well, I think like I got my very first tattoo when my dad passed away. I think as like a kind of a tribute, but also kind of a he's gone, so now I can get a tattoo. Which is like a double-edged kind of thing of like, I don't know that he would have loved me getting a tattoo in his honor. I think he would have been like, just don't.
Okay.
So that was really meaningful. And from there, I feel like I moved into the space with tattoos of like, they don't have to carry meaning.
Okay.
It's whatever.
So it's not like a goodbye to your film and TV career like, or anything like that. It's just like, no, I just want to do it. Like, should I go for it? Should I give it a try? Think about it.
So.
I'm going to shuffle the cards. And it's just proof, like, ask anything you want.
Yeah, I love it.
Keep it in your mind. Tell me what I should say. Just needed to stop and think for a moment about how the deck wants to be oriented. Cool. And there. Okay. We're going to turn on the card camera just so you can kind of see what we got here. All right. And so this is what we have. I'm just going to kind of get my past card kind of queued up here. Great. So this first card from the past, let's see if I can hold it correctly. It's the Page of Wands. And you can see he's there kind of holding this wand. Pages are cards of beginning. Court cards also often refer to people. To me, it kind of feels like this is probably representing you in a lot of ways. Like you're kind of figuring out like, oh, shit, like what do tattoos mean to me? What's this all about? You can see he's kind of looking at the wand like as it's flowering into greenness, and he's like, whoa, didn't expect that. Like, it's just a stick. Why is it growing leaves? Which is kind of exciting and interesting and neat. And it's about like being open to possibilities and like this sort of journey calls, right? So like in the past, you've gotten these tattoos like because you've made these like life-changing moments have happened, right? Your dad passes away. And you've just got this like you're open to the possibility of trying a thing. Yeah. So if that does that make sense to you, like that's kind of how your relationship to tattoos had been in the past, maybe?
I think so. Yeah, just like the feeling of some freedom maybe around getting older, having agency over my own body. Also the feeling of like, I don't know. I think there's like a weird, I don't know if this is like a gendered thing, but there's this weird feeling of like purity or something, or like not ruining your body with like piercings or tattoos or modifications or whatever. And I think at some point, you know, in my early 20s, I was just like, whatever.
That's cool. That does feel like a little bit of a scene. Players feel inspired to join in. That feels like something we could show Amy more about.
Salute. Always nice to meet with an old school friend. Yeah, I can't hear you. Sorry.
I'm so amazed about how well you're doing, Amy. I'm just in awe of your decisions that you make, and you were always such a warrior, but you know what? I can see that you discovered that the question isn't always an invitation to an answer, but just an invitation to explore, and that's what you did.
Yeah. I have to. Life is too beautiful to wait and to. So, and what are you up to? What are you doing these days?
I'm still here, and life hasn't changed much here, but I wish I had the courage that you had, like decision making and just move on, never look backwards.
Yeah, just like, for example, my tattoo here.
You got a tattoo?
Yeah, on my back. When my dad passed away.
Wow. And it's only, I know we always like talked about it, but I never had the courage to.
Oh, you don't have a tattoo? No, nothing.
Yeah, just the one, a little small, well, two actually, but very small. I mean,
yeah.
Because I really wanted it, but didn't have the courage. But yeah.
Oh, you have to do it. Come on, you have to move on. And
but what do you think?
I might get a bigger tattoo. Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe a few stars here. What do you think? Would it suit me, a few stars on my face to just...
Amy, you are a star. You don't need like put it on your face. That's something.
Yeah,
if you have a tattoo, invent something and do it on your, but not on your face. I mean, your face.
It was just an idea.
Oh, that sounds like a lovely idea. Thank you, players. So does that seem like a thing you were going through in your early 20s? Like, you know, hey, whatever, throw a tattoo on my face. That'll happen.
Well, one thing that Sophie's character said that really inspired me was this idea of like, you don't need to do that to like show, you know, like maybe you can do something in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's like a pretty powerful question of like, yeah, why, what does it do? You know, oh, it makes you feel like you sat through this like painful experience,
yeah,
or you're like a bit tougher for it. But I don't know, you could invent something.
yeah, exactly. So like I think that's kind of, I'm glad that speaks to like the past, and we'll deal with our little technical glitch with Sophie still showing up there on camera, because I'm just going to jump right into the card camera, and we're going to talk about the present, because I think it's interesting, the present card, while Sophie sorts herself out. I unfortunately, I have too many tech things going on, and my sad little computer can't turn off her camera for her. But this next card in the present is a big, powerful card in the major arcana. It's a card called the Emperor, and he holds the number 4 for like order and structure. He's sort of like the father figure of the deck in a lot of ways, and like it's about like sort of status and recognition and like sort of keeping order and not wanting to be you can see like he's wearing armor, so like he's sort of not changing or not wanting to change, and you know, sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's less good, and you can see like he's sitting on this throne in like a very commanding sort of way. So to me it kind of feels like, all right, you know, you're following the rules right now. You have these very small little tattoos that are not standing out too much, and you know, not doing anything too big and crazy. And you've done that, or you are doing that right now, kind of like you said, like, all right, you know, want to be proper and good and not get in the way of like, if I'm on a film set, do they need to slather me with makeup to like you know, have my tattoo show up, right? So like you're smiling and laughing, so that makes me think like, oh, okay, like that makes sense, like that was coming out of right now, out of this sense of like correctness. And some of the earlier stuff that you were saying kind of made me think of that too. Ooh, here we go.
You know, I'd say don't worry about it. Honestly, it's like I forget it's there. Really, you should. I mean,
okay. And so you want to follow an improv course in my school?
well, yeah, but you were saying that you were thinking about getting a snake. So
Yeah, that's true. But
wanted to tell you, you know, it's beautiful. Don't you think? I mean,
yeah, it's
beautiful
special.
word.
It's special. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If anything, I'd say it helps.
And did you do some improv before?
Yeah, I've been acting for a while. You know, mostly I feel like I just get hired because of my look. It's very unusual to have a woman with a snake tattoo on her face, but I really want to bump up my skills so that I'm hired for my talent.
Yeah, of course, I understand completely.
Yeah.
Okay, we can maybe do some association. When I say a snake, what do you think? Sorry?
Face.
Face. Good.
Face.
When I say image,
Face.
everything is face. Yeah, you can. Okay.
I mean,
sorry.
I'm gonna sign up for the class. I definitely want to sign up for the class. I want to finish talking about my face for a second, because seemed like you had a lot more questions.
Yeah, I also see the butterfly next to the snake.
Yeah, I was thinking about like a hawk or a falcon, but I don't know, butterfly just
Came out of it. Yeah.
it's transformation. And I want to wear that on my face. You know,
Yeah.
I've been through a lot and it's just I don't know, they make me feel like I've been through a lot. It was hard.
You know what is new in the improv school? We have a psychiatrist coming every evening from 6 to 7. Maybe
You know, you put a tattoo on your face and it's like everyone wants to send you to some kind of psychiatrist, okay? I'm not crazy. I'm good looking. There's a difference.
okay.
Great. Oh no, that's good. Hey, Amy, yeah, like maybe people will see me that way as like the weird girl with the giant tattoo.
I love the idea of doing an association and only being able to say face because you have a huge snake on your face. Yes, but I think, maybe there's something there about, being afraid of being too much, or like being afraid of tattoos aging, or even just like, even just being out of style, or being like, a bad tattoo, like ending up with an artist that's bad or something, like the fear of permanence, I guess.
There is something to that for sure. Like kind of going through that. My spouse got her first tattoo, and it's here on her forearm. It's pretty like prominent, and she definitely went through the phase of like, what if I have a bad artist and they write a bad, oh God. And especially because there's writing on it, and she teaches English literature. She's like, what if they get it wrong? All these misspelled crap on my forearm. So that's real, and that makes sense. The next card in here actually kind of, I think it has something good to, or like something to say for us to think about. And it's this card, the Six of Swords. So reversed like this, because that's what it is, it's reversed. It's about like, you're going through this kind of like transitional time, right? Just like the people on the boat are going through this kind of, time in between. And you're making some changes, and like you kind of know that you need to make this change. And it's calling you to sort of like push beyond your comfort zone a little bit. And like that maybe you're just resisting this change because of some kind of like external circumstance that's out there, instead of like just either doing it or not doing it based on what you want. So it's kind of like a call to think about, well, look at why you're not just like, calling up a good tattoo artist in Vancouver and being like, all right, I'm getting a hawk. It's gonna be on my right thigh. This is what I want. Make it happen. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a future that's probably like worth looking at a little bit more deeply, players, because Amy seems like she's resonating with that. So I'm going to go ahead and bow out, and we'll see what that kind of stuff might lead us to.
You're looking very lovely, and I'm sure my son is going to be so happy with you. But I think the perfect bride has typically, in my opinion, no tattoos.
Oh, then Houston, we have a small problem. I do have a few tattoos, Mom.
Well, I mean, I'm everything that you are right now. You're perfect. Honestly, you are exactly the woman I envisioned marrying my son, and I'm very happy and proud of you. Honestly, and proud to have you to soon be my daughter-in-law. But maybe don't get any giant snakes on your face before the wedding. Is my one thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here.
Yeah.
I think Tom's mom, she definitely maybe believes that no tattoos would be better, but I do think she would accept it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So what's holding you back?
Well, getting older and having tattoos, maybe, I don't know. Maybe one day Tom looks at me and the tattoo of the snake has become a giant salamander or something.
No, I have a tattoo and it's
Oh.
actually held up very well.
And where is it? Can I see it?
It's on my forearm.
Oh, real nice.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think honestly, as long as you take good care of your skin, which you do, like it should be fine. It looks
Yeah.
nice, and it's a little piece of your past that you get to carry with you throughout the rest of your life.
Give me your other foot. I'm good at massaging your foot. Huh? Yeah, your feet.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's very kind of you.
Yeah. I'm so happy we get along so well.
So well, very
Yeah.
well. I'm happy too. Yeah, you're really great.
That seems like a pretty good future, like a mother-in-law that's like, no, get that tattoo. I've got one too, and you should go for it. Does that seem like I mean, once you got in there and we kind of like moved the character of Tom's mom around a little bit?
Yeah, I really appreciated the offer to rub her feet. I've never done that, but I think in the future that would be a good thing for me to do. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like all the women in my life, like all the moms in my life, or the aunts in my life, except maybe one, they are all very like, I don't know, just kind of like forward thinking, kind of badass women that are like, yeah, I don't know, you might die tomorrow, so why not do the thing instead of like not. And then feeling like you missed out on having a huge snake tattoo on your thigh and watching it turn into a salamander. I mean, maybe that's part of the beauty of life.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible, right? And with it too, like just with the reading and that particular card, right? It's kind of about like knowing that you need to make this change happen. And it looks like Nicole is here smoking a cigarette, and Tanya is too. Like they've got something else to say about your future, so let's let them say it.
Nice.
It's your birthday.
Yeah.
65. Like, looking back, what do you wish you would have done differently?
Yeah. Smoking pot. I started late. Only here with you, but it's nice. It relaxes.
At 40, but I would have started at 12. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look back and I think, if a snake is a salamander, it doesn't matter. Real beauty is inside, real happiness is inside.
You got the snake. You lived. You went after your dreams. You did something. Did you sit at home? Were you afraid? No. You started with the little tattoos, and when you were ready, you said, fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm living. And I'm proud of you.
Your own room can be a condo. Your own room. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind.
Wisdom. This is pure wisdom. Cheers.
Cheers to happiness.
Happiness.
To happiness indeed. Yeah. Yeah. The last thing I would leave you about about what the cards say, in addition to what the players say, it feels like what the players just said, like had something like you've got an aunt or two, or a lady in your life that's a little older that might have that relationship with you from the way you were kind of like, yeah, I know that person.
Yeah, my mom. My mom is
Yeah.
a smoker. I picked Tanya to play me because she reminds me of my mom. Yeah, I mean, yes, this is a future I could see.
Cool. As if it's a future you're happy with. The only thing I would just say is like it feels like with this last card that it's like there's some sort of unfinished business or like some unfinished lesson that's like just stopping you from doing it now. So like or like going forward into the future to do the tattoo. So just have a think about like, oh, what is it that like just hasn't been done that needs to get done, so I can just call up that tattoo artist in Vancouver and just be like, you know what, how's your hawk, like that, what do you got? And see, or your snake if you want to go with the snake route, and just see like where that takes you. But I hope that's helpful. And I look forward to maybe in real life getting to go back to Canada when you all start letting us crazy Americans visit you again, and hearing about the amazing tattoo that you ended up getting.
Yes, I feel like this has given me, I agree with you. I think there's something I got to figure out why I haven't done it yet. And when I figure it out, then yeah, I would love to have you all visit and get to show it to you all.
Great. Well, players, come on back.
Yay.
It'd be really great to see all your faces again. I have a feeling you'll probably let the Belgian people on our cast into your country a little faster than the rest of us.
It's possible.
Which is fair. But everyone, just thank you for all your good work. And, just please, I don't know, give yourselves a little nice round of applause. You have a pat on the back. And if there's anything you want to say, to our players, Amy, please feel free to say it as we get ready to tune out.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone for exploring those wild and wacky stories. And thanks to Neil for the reading. It was super, super inspiring. So thank you all.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. This has been Whatever Fate Decides. And thanks so much for tuning in to our live stream together with Amy Shostak. Have a wonderful night and a great